This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
And I'm Heather Branch here with Brandon talking about ways to help you better prepare for your financial future. BowenWealth.com is where to start the conversation with Brandon about your customized retirement plan. We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there, or again, visit us at BowenWealth.com. All right, let's talk about fear and risk and finding balance, because
emotions, huh? You want to get emotional.
I do. I want to get a little bit emotional. Everybody, gather your thoughts. Let's get together. Let's support each other here in
Therapy
this space.
session.
There it is.
Buckle in.
Come on. Because we do have to shift our thinking in retirement.
Absolutely.
The risk that we had in our working years, we still need some risk, but we need less risk. So I want to ask about finding the balance. There was this new study from Global Atlantic talking about how 61% of retirees would rather preserve their money than grow it, understandably. The study also found 65% want guaranteed income for life, and 69% reported discussing loss prevention with their advisor. Just goes to show we want less risk.
That's right.
But here's the question for you, sir. Does the fear of losing money end up working against some people in their retirement to the point where they can't grow their money enough to fund a long retirement?
Yeah. Do you know, Heather, let me quiz you. Do you know where I see this the most? With which demographic?
No, where?
Women.
Really?
Right? Either widowed women, single divorced women, right? Because
they had unpredictability in their life experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're usually they don't want to take all this risk. They want to be conservative, defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had, in their mid 50s coming in, and they're in like cash and, not taking risks. So this is a big thing for you ladies if you're, might be too defensive with the money, right? So everyone listening, I want to have an honest conversation because it's just you and I right now, right? Just you and I. And let me ask you a question. What scenario would upset you the most? Okay. A or B? A would be, would you get upset the most if you missed out on some big gains with your portfolio? Or B, would you get the most upset if you suffered a big loss in your portfolio?
Well, in retirement years? For me, it would be the latter, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I would say everybody.
Yeah.
Most everybody, right? Because you're not working anymore.
Right.
You can't go back to that job. Yes, you could go get a job at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, but
it's not the same.
Everyone says, Brandon, I can't go make this again. This is what we have. This is it. Like we got to, put on some super careful gloves here. We've got to handle with care. We cannot have another 2008. It's been so long since we've had a 50% crash in the market. And we know it's coming at some point, right? We're going to have that probably deeper than that at some point. Okay.
Right.
So yes. So suffering a big loss, that's why those stats that you just read there of, 60 and 65 and 70%, people are feeling that. They're like, oh my gosh, I need to get more defensive. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to reduce this risk. And so this is a big difference when when you're 30 and 40 years old, you feel like you're ready to take on the world. Right. Yeah. We're totally fine with that aggressive risk. We're like, I'm going to double my money in 7 years.
I'm going to be working another 20 years. I got this. Let's go.
Right. You're not even checking your balance and stuff. Right. But now we've sobered up a bit. If you're about to retire or if you're already retired now, of saying, I bet you would say, I would rather preserve what I have than risk it. Okay. And so what you want to start thinking about, okay, how can I make sure that all of my financial needs would be met? What if you could set it up to where that it's going to be taken care of, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got that income stream, right? What if you know that you would never run out of retirement income? Even if you live into your hundreds.
Yeah.
My grandmother lived 100 and Mama B was like 101 and a half, I believe, so like some of you have longevity in your family. So we've got to plan on that for your money to last that long. Okay. So all of this, I'm not saying I don't want you to swing, just like you were saying, Heather. We got to be careful we don't swing all the way too defensive, okay, and too safe with this money. And so what I'm imploring is we've got to have diversification. Okay. Yep. Diversification, not all aggressive and not all defensive. Sure. It's kind of like the porridges, the too cold, just right, too hot, we need to think bucket strategies. And well, let me tell you about some clients that this clicked for him when he came in. Okay, we worked through the summer to get this set up. He retired about a month ago. He's 66 years old. Okay, lives up in Somerville. He had saved right at $1.8 million. I mean, nice. Yes, did a great job. Had about $1 million 401k, and then about 700 in the market, and then some cash at the bank and things. So about 1.8. Okay, but most all of that was still 100% aggressive. Okay? Got it. So he came in, right, coming out of 22. He's like, Brandon, okay, that was like, whoa. I handled my own money while I was working, but now it's time to retire. I need to diversify. I've been listening to you for years on the radio. Yeah. What do we do? Yeah. Right? Yeah. He's like, I want off of this roller coaster. Sure. I'm done. It's like me when I go with my girls and I'll think I'm some big shot and I'll ride some of the worst, the craziest roller coasters.
Can't ride those roller coasters you just ride when you were young. It makes you feel nauseous.
By lunchtime, I'm like, okay, you guys go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to sit here with my water. I'm done. I don't know what's up with my head. It's like I can't do it anymore. Can't. So, yes. So with him, I said, okay, we've got to create some buckets here. So I explained to him and I showed him illustrated, like a 3-bucket strategy. We've actually go back to the podcast. We've talked about that. It was, just recently here, I talked about a 3-bucket approach to retirement with different timelines and with different various objectives to that money. Right. Mm-hmm. And so now that everything is in place and I've put a bow on it and we're all good to go, he now has, Heather, check this. He's got now more income being retired and sitting at home than he did when he was working.
That's great.
And he paid off his house. He had just a little bit left on his house. He paid that off. And when he came in for his last meeting, he was like, he was eating our cookies, drinking the coffee in the office, and
just
he leaned back in the chair.
He is just relaxed.
Leaned back in the chair. He goes, Brandon, did you know, he had his notebook and he ran his numbers and he's like, did you know I've got more income now and my expenses have been cut in half because I've paid off the house.
His mortgage.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He's like, and he also shared like he had some health issues going on, like with his heart and stress and things going on. And he's like, look at me. And I was like, I can see it. You are so relaxed now. You're just like, I'm going to get back into biking. I'm going to, ride. I want to, everybody's playing pickleball and I want to, meet some people, things like, it's just, he's smiling. That stress has just come off his shoulders.
Nice.
Because of this plan together. So, and we're only risking, I would say about 30% of that 1.8 million.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's got his needs and his wants are more than taken care of with our strategy, our diversification. Mm-hmm. He's got plenty of liquidity, more than, he needs there. Just things are good. Things are good. And you can tell it with him. And so I was really, really honored to come alongside, put that plan together and, and help him really thrive at this point in his life.
All this to say, we joke about how as a financial advisor / therapist, in this case scenario, his doctor, his physical, his GP needs to be calling you and like high-fiving.
Oh my gosh.
Helping people's financial health, helping people's physical health. Yeah. It's amazing how it all comes together when you have that financial stress alleviated from yourself, from your person, how much better your entire life becomes, all the way down to your physical health.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the medication they put you on.
Right. Well, this guy, it sounds like if he had heart problems, maybe he was coming off medication.
That's right. Yes.
Goals.
Yeah. And you listening, I bet you if there's a bad month or a few weeks in the market, are you watching CNBC and Fox Business? Are you getting stressed? You're checking your balance. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm down $20,000 this week. Oh my gosh. And you can just feel it. You feel it getting tight. Yep. Right. Yep. The stress you feel, maybe, and we all deal with it differently. Maybe you get quiet, you get away, you're not talking to your spouse, and it might affect other areas of your life. Right. Mm-hmm. So getting this plan in place and only risking an appropriate percentage, right? Having, again, diversification. That's what we're talking about. Yep. Okay. Yep. Not all defensive, not all aggressive, but we're going to have some buckets in each one of those things. Okay. So when the markets have all this volatility, you know that it's only affecting one of those buckets. Okay. Yeah. Because you've taken some of that other money off that roller coaster, right? It's designed for income. You know that all you got to do is wake up, right? So now you can focus on your health. Maybe it's walking a little bit. Maybe it's, doing your hobbies, doing the things that are going to help you improve emotionally and physically there. So if you know that this is something that you've got to do, you've been putting it off way too long, what I'm talking about is my full-blown second opinion, okay? Full-blown customized retirement playbook. It's where we will take a look at everything, and I'll kind of like clear the slate, clear the whole table, and I will say, okay, if you give me the keys to the car, here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to start building it from the ground up, and we start with your income plan. We make sure you've got a tremendous income plan, even with surplus income. Maybe you only need $6,000 a month, but I'm going to set it up for $7,000 and factor in cost of living adjustments and inflation. Okay. We're going to build you a beautiful income plan. Then the second step is to reduce that market risk. I bet you're overexposed probably, but we're going to take a look at where we're taking that risk and make sure that we're using proprietary technology, things like our Market Guard portfolios, things that are like a lifeguard on duty. Okay. You might have been swimming at your own risk for a long time. Okay. So now is the time to have someone right there watching the market, watching the portfolios for you. And then the third thing is looking at your tax plan and see, are there tax moves that I need to be working with your CPA, your tax attorney? How can we work together for your benefit? What are some moves, and make sure that you stay out of jail, but you don't give the IRS one penny more than you should be. Okay?
Yep.
That's this customized retirement playbook, and you deserve it. So if this sounds like you and you know that you've got to get this plan in place right now, let me encourage you to head on over to bowenwealth.com and click on the contact tab so we can begin this urgent conversation with you right now.
We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there, or again, find us anytime, bowenwealth.com.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.